is the last day. We have one special request for design thinking workshop by the management for all of you. We would like to request to please take out your notepads or registers so that you can note down some things. Because whatever Ms. Diksha will be sharing with you may go bouncer if you just listen. तो जिन्होंने समझ नहीं आया है तो प्लीज अपना रजिस्टर और पेन निकाल लें, लिखने के लिए नोट पैड्स निकाल लें. The hands are still working, I believe. Designer is like to give the innovative ideas. So for that, the workshop is here. Ma'am will let you know what is design thinking is all about. Plus, she will ask you a few questions. Those who will be able to answer without hesitation, without any discussion, will get something from our side. It can be goodie, it can be a munch. Okay? Those who will be shortlisted just because of their innovative ideas will go for the next level. That will be image recognition, but the questions will be different. Once we are done with that, we will get some goodies from our side. Okay? Next, the coming year, for the second year, we will be also shortlisting the top 25 top performers, and they will be getting a visit to the industry in our campus, maybe in Noida, maybe in Delhi, maybe in Gurgaon. There you will be able to see the people actually working with the machines.
Okay, so once you copy the link, it will ask you to write the name and email ID. Everyone should be writing the names, and you will check over the projector. Your names, your cursors will be available here. Please don't use the animal names, use your names. I hope I'm in a college, not in a zoo.
Yeah, review names.
View access
So
only.
we can use that, they can write.
How?
They will be copying the link in the browser or their smartphone.
But it's not working. It's showing only view
If I'm clicking it, it
access.
is giving me view only. Browser install.
ब्राउजर में नहीं मैं पेस्ट करी मैं डायरेक्टली
हाँ डायरेक्ट करोगे तो मैम आपको ऐप डाउनलोड करनी पड़ेगी देन इट विल आस्क यू क्वेरीज ब्राउजर में डायरेक्ट करोगे तब क्या
So in this case, what you can do, you can copy that link and paste it over your browser, and then you can get the edit access.
It's not like you are clicking on it.
And then you can get the edit access. जिसको लगता है view access है और वो edit करना चाहता है तो वो इस काम कर सकता है.
In that case you need to download.
If you are directly clicking on that specific link, you need to download the application, then you will be able to edit. Else you can just simply copy and paste in your browser in the smartphone. It will ask for email ID and name. Write your email ID and name and then press enter. You will be entered into this portal.
Dan, shall we start now? Okay, just open your please have a access
आपके पास है ये लिंक आया है IBM वाले ग्रुप में डाला है, आप इसको करो एक बार। नहीं है, मैं आपको मैसेज कर दूँ।
enter into this platform. Meanwhile, you guys are logging. See, this platform is team-based platform which requires team members to connect from any corner of the country or from different country zone. So here we actually use multiple templates. Like if we are discussing about some stakeholders pain points, then we might have stakeholder canvas. And if we are talking about customers problem, then we might have empathies, scenarios, multiple templates available depending upon what type of business, what type of like customer requirement is there. But in every aspect, we are keeping customer as a center, and then we are focusing upon that specific part. Now if you see this is a template which actually requires every teammate to have some input and to focus upon that part. I hope everyone is entered into the link. Okay, the very first thing, yes, please have a look towards here. Then you need to mention your comments or your thoughts. So when you open the template, you find the very first section that is mention your name, which is actually going to be one of the input which you are learning, like how to use this tool, how to write a template or use this tool. Then we will be entering into actual problem and analyzing the ideas. So when you open this, you might double click on the same page. If you double click, you will generate one sticky. If you see, I'm here generating, it's yellow in color. So here you all need to write your name. Those who are getting edit access will able to write their name, so that in case you are facing any challenge, double click, you are not getting any parameter. From the left hand side, you have these sections. So from these like templates, text, sticky notes, and some shapes and like some additional images and values are there. So you can just simply click on this sticky note with multiple color, multiple shape, it's there. You can just simply drag and then you can resize it from the corner, and you can just write a single click and give your name. So on that particular sticky you will be giving your name. So I guess you guys can just see, guys, it's not YouTube or your social media. Stop writing just looking like a wow and all that things. हाँ, तो अब नया लेकर आओ अगर पुराना हो गया. You guys need to write your names here, right? So I hope you are able to access. So multiple parameters are here. We can see Akshat name here. Same way, more students need to write their name. This is just for your intro section, like how you are using this whole template. You will be entering into main template once you complete your intro here. See, this is fun learning, so please do it. Stop coloring. You need to use only stickies, please.
वर्कशॉप खत्म हो जाएगी उसके बाद प्राइस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होंगे और प्रैक्टिकल
double click, else from the left hand side you can choose your color, shape, and you can write the name over that sticky. So we can see many of you are inputting. Please just post. You need to write in the same quadrant only. Last, are you guys entered into the portal? Last boys. चल गया? I hope maximum of you have the access. You can just leave your input. Your name and are able to access the tool. Yes, please. Okay, now keep a pause. Let's understand what's the next in this template. Yes, please keep a pause. When you slide towards the right, you will be able to see one of the template pre-designed like enterprise design thinking practices. Practices means like in every programming language or in any critical thinking, you need to design something. You need to focus upon that part, right? So you will be understanding what exactly this design thinking activities are. Activities means the practical implementation of what we have discussed, and that practical implementation actually have loop in their accession. So basically we work with multiple teams in this tool. Like just an overview, we work with multiple teams, and the one who is like your manager, your team lead, or your head, that can be one of the major person you are reporting to. And next is the team which work upon that section. So this was about the overview what this all trainings and these all design thinking tools are. Moving towards the next, we discussed about the stages in So for a minute, you guys might be having lost the access because I have been restricted the access. Yes, please, no discussion. Just have a look towards the third phase here. We have designed these multiple sections like how might we, that means, yes, please, no discussion. See, in the beginning we discussed about the 5 phases. The first phase was empathizing. That means just to understand what is the problem, what is the section. So keeping that in mind, we have defined the problem. So here I have already given you the problem. That is, how might we make our apps add to cart experience more functional. We all are using e-commerce websites, online shopping. Which cart you like? Which platform you use the most? Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Meesho. Which? Amazon. Okay. So related to that, here I have given you the problem. Like if I am adding any item towards the cart, it might not be like entering into the final buying product, or it might be kept there for long. So how we can deal or how we can work upon that? So the actual problem is the user is not happy with the cart facility. How we can make it more and more functional, so that when we add any product in the cart, we will be able to release, we will be able to focus upon that specific section. So we have defined the problem, but now keeping that problem in mind, we need to focus upon what actually the user, that means you using the Amazon or any e-commerce site, facing any challenge, like maximum times, or what happens is that when you add any product in the cart, sometimes keeping it in cart might be sold out, or might be being long, the page is not loaded. Several types of challenges we meet due to any XYZ reason. So keeping that in mind, we will be adding, or we will be focusing upon the last phase here, which actually helps us to understand like what is the parameter and how I can actually deal with that section. So you might be having names added towards it, and then the values. Now we will be focusing upon one of the parameter, that is the empathy map. So the initial first level, that is empathize the user. So here you will be understanding what exactly the problem is, how we will be dealing, or how that problem will be led towards the next particular phase. Moving towards the next, you might be able to see an empathy map where you need to design, or let me just give you a brief. See, we have this template edit which contains a circle, that means user as a center. As we discussed in the beginning, what is the like central idea of design thinking, keeping user as a center, and then it is being divided into 4 major quadrants. The first quadrant is says, that means what have you heard about that problem, or what have you imagined, like what can be the actual sayings or actual problems which we can be hearing or discussing about. Moving towards the next comes out to be the column which about the things. That means you might suggest, or you might think like if the cart might be added at the bottom, or the cart might be like having some automatic place delivery process or something like that. So that means what's your ideas over that. And moving towards the next, we have does, what exactly you have done to make your add to cart experience more effective and more like easy for your client, for your customer. And finally, what actually you feel like, are you getting positive feedbacks or some challenges or some negative feedback. So depending upon that, you can just simply work, or you can just simply focus upon that part. I hope the template is pretty understood to all. So shall we start one by one entering into it? So let us take an example. At the center, you guys are the one who is actually discussing or who is actually developing that particular experience. So depending upon that, you will be working in the first quadrant. I'm just giving you the rights back, right? So you need to enter into this template. You already have the access, but it was like locked. Now I am releasing it out. So you guys will be entering towards it. The same way you have written your names, you will be entering your ideas, your thoughts into the first quadrant, same way proceeding towards the second, third and fourth. From this particular activity, we will be understanding what exactly the problem is so that we can proceed towards the next, that is the next reflect area or the solution, what we can design or what we can work upon. So you guys can just check. I have released the ideas. You have the rights to edit. So you need to move towards the last and then you can work on that part. Just enter once. So you might be able to see this template. Circle containing you as your customer as a center, and then discussing about what have you heard about the problem and what you think should be done and what exactly you have done and how is the impact of that. I hope everyone is able to edit. If not, just refresh that and you will be able to see here, or else you can give your ideas. I can write it down the way you guys are comfortable. The problem is same. In case you find any challenge, you can just go through the problem definition and coming towards the next, you will be able to find out what exactly it is having. Start with the say section. Don't go for thinks, does or feel.
Empathy map is divided into 4 parts. You have to start with say. कहना क्या चाहते हो? Say. Right.
Okay, please start with the say section. Now we have an entry with the things. Again, you guys need to double click, or you can use the left hand side stickies to write, stickies or text or whatever icons, whatever you need to design. Even you can use multiple icons from here just to narrate your challenge or whatever you have heard or what exactly you want to say. I can see many people, but please. Those who are not even doing or have no UXs can just note it down the template in their paper pen. Stop
This
writing.
is not your personal chat window. You can't propose someone. बेइज्जती ना हो जाए।
Need to keep that in mind. You need to express what's there in the empathy map.
But to give the ideas.
प्रॉब्लम है कि कार्ट ऐड टू कार्ट जो फंक्शन है या ऐड टू कार्ट जो भी हम प्रोडक्ट करते हैं उसको हम और कितना इफेक्टिव बनाएं। ऑलरेडी कार्ट पे हमारे प्रोडक्ट पड़े रहते हैं या कई बार हम ऐड करते हैं सो वी कम नेक्स्ट टाइम वो ऑटोमेटिक डिलीट या सोल्ड आउट ऐसा कुछ हो जाता है। तो हम अपने क्लाइंट को कितना हम लाइक बेनिफिट करें थ्रू दैट स्पेसिफिक सर्विस, वो आपको यहाँ पे डिजाइन आउट करना है। एम्पैथी में प्रॉब्लम, कार्ड की क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आपने सफर की हैं, उस कंडीशन को सफर आपको अंडरस्टैंड करना है, देन यू नीड टू डिजाइन द आइडियाज। सेल्स तो हम लोग सबसे ज्यादा यूज करते हैं ई कॉमर्स साइट्स।
डाल देंगे।
Those who have completed the first two can move towards the third. Whatever you are writing, we can see it there, and we can name out those students as well.
तो जिसने लिखा है क्लास कब खत्म होगी, लेट मी टेल यू दिस इज वर्कशॉप। So you are to please do brainstorming before writing something. तो ये पता नहीं बोलते होता है साल
What exactly the card function performs, or whatever additional activities you have added. Stop writing these win-win or something. See guys, if you are doing this today, when you will be entering into your jobs, you need to work on these tools or similar to these tools. You might be traveling at that time.
रिया को सॉरी बोलने लगे थे।
Okay, so let me just brief it out once. Yes, please, the access is for view only. Have a look. Yes, please focus. So we were about to discuss about the problem that how might we can have the apps card experience more functional. That means what additional services, responsibilities or operations buttons we can have on it. So keeping that in mind, as a customer, we have encountered several feelings, several discussions, several workings. So we have noted down in a template called empathy, right? So in this empathy, like you see, you guys have entered multiple experiences, multiple inputs. So like there was an input called like you have added cart should contain a wish list. So those who have written this, we might have wish list different and cart as a different, because in wish list you might purchase or might not, but in cart maximum times you keep for some discounts or to have a confront additional like sudden plannings and purchases. So keeping that in mind, you have like you collect the experience, but these experiences are only collected once the order is being delivered to the customer. So they ask you to give a review or a feedback. So keeping that in mind, like so we might have several sayings like there should be a clear feedback. But remember one thing, if every step contains a feedback, you might not be addressed or you might not be using that app for a long, because you might be feeling like hectic to enter feedback after every step. So keeping that in mind, we might not step towards the feedback on every aspect, and then whatever you think like I don't think so helping poor people add functionality or card functionality should actually meet it. So this is just an irrelevant thought which we cannot consider. Then yes, one of the major is that provide easy access to product details, chat support during the add to cart process. Now, whose idea is this? What's the good name? Sandeep Kaur. Okay, what actually like help you out to share this idea with us?
Because with the help of this, people can easily assess product. Like if they face any problem, they can chat with the team of that particular app.
Very good, very good. See, maximum time, sit down. Maximum time, what happens? We need to be like on every step. We don't have any customer support or so, but like on cart, we might add, because maximum times we face some question or some trouble, then we might discard, then re-enter or repurchase the whole process. So yes, we can add specific idea or these towards it. That's a very good. Same way we have like if we talk in terms of financial money, we cannot take at every step, because they might be adding several GSTs and their other taxes. So the financial we might not be including in things section. Moving towards the next, we have like what exactly they have done. So someone said that I will give free Netflix with add to cart. Now if you are giving free Netflix, then people might not be purchasing the product. They might be keeping the products in the cart and they will be using your subscribed Netflix publication. So it's a loss to the business. Secondly, like we have like cart should be used as checked out section and after the payment page loaded. So if you have already paid, why you need cart section at that time? May I know who entered this one? If he or she is here in the class. No one? Okay. So basically, once you made a payment, then I don't think so add to cart should be valuable, because payment is the last step. Once it is deducted, then it's a kind of almost final product. So what exactly this helps us out is that, like, if there is any kind of item or like any programmed, like here it is suggested an item should be programmed to stay in cart for a particular time to create urgency to buy. Yes, we can consider this, because maximum time we add the product in the cart and it keeps on reflecting as a notification like it's 10% off or one item is left there or sold out, something like that, right? So this is what exactly happens with us, that we need to filter out in the does section. And lastly, we have the fields. That means whatever as a customer you guys have been using, you guys have been handling the problem, you need to share that as in the field section. So keeping that in mind, we will be considering, but this is totally irrelevant. And secondly, we can add more sections. Like if you already have cart section, then how many more sections you need to add? Like, may I know who added this thought? Just for a journal discussion. ऐड किया भी होगा तो भी नहीं बताएंगे अब तो. Okay, so basically the field section is about like if as a customer you are happy with that particular section or you want to make more improvements, that's what exactly field section is about. So with this specific, we have completed this empathy map, which actually emphasizes that we need more like modifications, more enhancement in our application. It can be depending upon mobile application or a web application. Keeping that in mind, we might need that user interface should be more flexible, more easy to use towards our client, because the easy the product is, the client will be more we have, right? And the business and the revenue which is generated depends upon wholly and solely over the client or the customer which you are targeting to. You need to target the right audience. If you are targeting the non-interested audience or the wrong audience, your business revenue will not be generated up to the target. So this is one of the examples. Depending upon that, we have many templates. I'll just give you like more exposure towards it. Now we discussed about the empathy map template, which was actually initializing to daily challenge, or we can say daily values. So keeping that in mind, if you see here we have multiple categories like what exactly the strategies are about. Like sometimes you need to design a strategy for implementing your critical thinking. So you can use here multiple templates, breakdown sessions, which helps you to design to work with multiple breaking parameters and keeping tracks of the projects, dealing with that. So these are the multiple templates which we can actually use. We can actually design. So keeping that in mind, let's have some few questions to discuss about. Okay, so I will be now asking some questions and you need to raise your hand, or else we'll be just having some few questions about what exactly we have discussed in this specific workshop. So let's start with the very first discussion and overview. So design thinking is a user-centric approach, and we actually keep user as a center. So what are the major principles we need to keep in mind? You can raise your hand. Yes.
User satisfaction.
User?
Satisfaction.
Okay, user satisfaction. What's your name?
Karan.
Karan. Who else? Okay, what is the purpose of loop? गूगल पे भी नहीं मिलेगा ये. Okay, what are the 3 phases we discussed about? ऐसे नहीं बोलना. Observe, reflect and make. What's your name? Girl. Amisha. Okay. So what is the basic use of empathy map that we were discussing as of now? Understand the user problems, right? So, like, are you applying these design thinking in your daily life? What do you think? Yes or no? In what aspect?
By taking reviews from friends or friends
Correct.
before making any decision.
Okay. So basically you guys are actually using this methodology in your regular life, either coming to the college, calculating your attendance, going for a movie, taking a review, going to a cafe or some specific location. You are actually indulging into the multiple stages of design thinking. So this was just an overview, or we can say that an interaction on design thinking. We have vast curriculum and vast activities implementing on multiple tools. This is one of the tools, Mural. You can use multiple tools in the market depending upon what exactly the company you are working for is being using. So with this, I am winding up this workshop and I hope you have enjoyed this workshop. Thank you.